guys, Rob here with McDojoLife, and the man you just got done watching in that video giving the old Brooklyn salute followed up by slapping his opponent in the face like he's applying some Flex Seal tape goes by the name of Muslim Patsarigov. If I messed up his name, you guessed it, I don't care. But to make it easier, I'll just go by the nickname that's listed on his BJJHeroes.com account, Messi. That's right, Messi like the soccer player. I mean, I can see the resemblance, but it's like if you ordered Messi on Wish. But I digress. In order for you to get the full scope of why Messi here is getting his own McDojo Breakdown, I need to take this all the way back to 2017, where he was at an ibjjf competition, and he faced a man named ADCC. Let's check it out. Let's see that again, but let's take a closer look. As you can see right there was a headbutt. Whether it was accidental or intentional, I don't know, but at the end of the day, you have to at least try to be a good sport. You are in a competition, striking is not allowed. So if the person does headbutt you, you should probably take that up with the center referee. What you don't do is you don't go flying off the handle and slap the living dog shit out of your competitor. That's usually frowned upon in competitions where striking's not allowed. And besides that, what did that sign do to you? Do you have some kind of prejudice against signs? That sign was just chilling, minding its own business, and all of a sudden you come up and you start kicking the living dog crap out of it. That's also frowned upon. I got the opportunity to speak with both AJ and Messi about this particular situation, and here's what Messi had to say. Concerning ADCC, he headbutted me many times in the clinch before I got provoked and slapped him. I was winning the match with many advantages, and he continued to headbutt me, probably to try to provoke me and make me do something stupid. I mean, it worked because you did something stupid and you got disqualified for it. Even though I won the match with advantages, I got DQ'd and he went on to the finals. But AJ's side was a little different. It was just a very physical match. But when he couldn't move around a guy 50 pounds lighter, it was frustrating him and he snapped. Whether you feel AJ was in the wrong or whether you feel Messi was in the wrong here, at the end of the day, this is just one little nugget of a lot of things that compound against Messi in some of the most horrible ways. Let's fast forward to earlier this year, 2022. We're at the ADCC trials, and Messi has beaten 4 people in order to work his way all the way to the finals. The winner of this match will go on to compete in the world's most prestigious Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu competition ever, ADCC. His opponent, none other than Daniel Manasu, and I'm pretty sure I butchered his last name. Again, still don't care because we're just going to call him Big Dan. Now let's see how that worked out. That match only lasted 2 minutes, and it ended with a clear victory for Big Dan via submission. I understand that had to be heartbreaking for Messi to make it all the way to the finals, almost make it to ADCC, and lose. Especially lose that easily. But what Messi did after this is just nuts. Meet Mo Jassim. Mo here is the head honcho over at ADCC. Shortly after Messi lost to Big Dan in the ADCC trials, Mo had to actually ban him from any ADCC event ever. Why, you might ask? Well, let's hear it from Mo.
Okay, he's upset because this is what happened. Muslim commented on the ADCC Instagram page. I invited someone, I made an announcement, and he wrote, if I don't get an invite, I'm never doing ADCC again. So I wrote, okay, then don't do it again. I don't care. From that, he started like cussing at me and stuff. I'm like, whatever. Then he started sending me DMs, like racist messages, like you Arab this, you Arab that, and then like death threats, like crazy death threats. So that's point one. That's all it took. Why did I ban him? I banned him because like he's sending me death threats and racist messages. I don't care about, like, me personally, I have thick skin, like I'm used to people cussing at me, but you know, this guy's sending me multiple death threats and stuff like that. So I mean, all his messages to me were just literally just cussing me out and saying, when I see you, I'm gonna beat you, I can get to you anywhere, I know where you live, like that. I didn't even know who he was. He got second at our trials. I didn't know who he was. until he got sober, and then that comment.
Now, of course, there's two sides to every story, so what did Messi have to say about this? According to Messi, he thinks that Mo simply lied about the entire thing. Well, I guess all of this clear proof I'm about to show you shuts down that nonsensical answer. Observe.
Can you not visit Lankaker? Come please visit Lankaker. Then I gonna see your face here. Of man, you Arab.
Fast forwarding just a few months after that, we come to something much more recent where he was also in another IBJJF competition where he faced, this time, Oliver Taza. I actually think I might have gotten that name right. As you can see, Taz has announced the winner, and apparently Messi didn't like that very much, so he gives him the old New York hello, followed by a nice little pimp slap across the face as he storms off and kicks yet another sign. What is with this guy and his beef with signs? He just simply hates signs for some reason. It's like if the dance dad off of South Park decided to start doing jujitsu.
Yeah, there it is. Slapped you. Oh my God.
Yet again, I decided to reach out to both parties to ask them what their thoughts were about this particular event. And here's what Taza had to say.
Hey man, thanks for reaching out. So Muslim, let me just walk you through my experience with him because I don't know much about him myself. Well, I'm finding out more about him as shit goes viral. So like before the match, he was super friendly. Like he seemed like a pretty cool guy before the match started. But then I think when he started to feel like he was falling behind in the match and didn't see any openings to beat me, he intentionally started eye gouging me with his thumb in my eye a couple of times and then kind of like negating it. And then I saw him trying to escalate things, so I was like, yeah, I'm just gonna play it cool because I don't want to get DQ'd, I'm here to win. And then after the third time, I'm like, bro, please just stop eye poking me. Like, I just don't want to lose my eye. It's just a match. And then he goes on and tells me like, yeah, stop fighting so hard. Don't fight hard. Like, fight easy. Take it easy. Like, chill out a bit. You know what I mean? Like, I was like, dude, if that's a training room, like if that's like a practice, I get it. Yeah, we can take it easy, but it's a competition. So I didn't really understand. So literally the last minute and a half, it kind of got in my head, and I wasn't just fighting anymore. I was just trying to kill time because I didn't want to get eye poked again. And then you guys saw I tried to shake his hand. He smacked me, and then after the fight, he tried to start shit with me again. So yeah, man, it was a very, very weird experience for me. It was the first time I ever faced that kind of shit,
And here's what Messi had to say. Hello, Rob. Me and Oliver Taza fought in the quarterfinal in the Absolute Division here in Rome. Taza initiated a lot of collar ties in the start of the fight, some of which just felt like hard slaps to the back of the head. I got provoked and did some hard collar ties back myself. I accidentally eye poked him once during the match. However, Taza claimed to the referee that I did this many more times during the fight. I did not. I suspect he did this to get me disqualified. Taza then eye poked me in the match. Today, my eye is sore and red. I did not complain about this to the referee because I know that this can happen in a fight. Anyway, the match went to a decision and Taza won. How he won, I will not understand. Yes, he got one fair advantage, but I feel that I did way more than him in the fight. In the end, Taza started to provoke me with hard slaps to the back of the head, and then he cried himself to a victory. I was provoked by his unsportsmanlike behavior, and unfortunately I mirrored his attitude on the mat and shoved his face after the fight. I hope everyone sees the fight before they comment on the situation. This is my formal statement. Regards, Muslim Patsarigov. But here's where the plot thickens even more. Taza is actually Big Dan's teammate. You remember Big Dan, the guy who ragdolled Messi and subbed him in 2 minutes, right? That's right, that Big Dan. Well, apparently Big Dan didn't appreciate what Messi did to his teammate after the match was already over and had some things and some memes to share about it. Here's one. Scumbag piece of Taza goes to shake your hand and then you flip him off and then fake a handshake and slap him. I hope you're happy I wasn't there, you dumb. Elegantly put. And then after that, came the memes. Well, as you can guess, Messi saw these memes and he had a few things to say about that as well himself.
Hey, when you come here to Europe, just come here to Europe, then I'm gonna show you. You wanna play tough? I'm tired of you stay many thousand kilometers and just play tough. When you come to Europe, I'm gonna take shit off you. I'm gonna put the biggest knife in your the big ass, man. Mother, you understand? I'm gonna kill you, kid. Like you together with this move. Don't play here, man. Just come here if you man. If you don't come here, I'm gonna send message to you. Fight. I just fight with you. I had big injury. I cannot just fight with you one hand. And then you think you can you beat me? You don't beat me, man. If I was no injury, you can do nothing, man. Like you shit guys, man. You know how many I have in Europe? Like I send all the players when I need. Just come to Europe. You're gonna be my son. You're gonna be my son. I'm gonna take you to Norway. Then I have a lot horse, you know horses. I have many horses. You're gonna take care of my horses. You're gonna be my son. You don't go back to America. Just come here to Europe. You think I don't gonna find you? You think I have a lot friends all the place. Just I send you one message, they're gonna bring you to me. You know, you kid 20 years and put a lot steroids in your ass and you wanna play tough like a Gordon. I'm not Felipe Pena, just you know, I'm gonna kill you, mother. You Romanian Tsigan for fun, Tsigan. Just come Europe, I'm gonna show you. You're gonna get the biggest knife in your ass, mother steroid shit.
But apparently Messi doesn't just do the dirty work himself. He has to roll deep, as tough of a tough guy as he is, and he sent some goons to actually send messages to Big Dan as well. As you can see, Messi and his goons use the word Tsigan a lot, and I'm sure I'm pronouncing it poorly, but that's not necessarily a word I want to learn how to pronounce correctly anyway. But what does that word even mean? Apparently, according to the internet anyway, it's a term used to describe Roma. Amongst most Romani countries, this is a highly offensive racial slur. Well, what did Big Dan have to say about all this?
This is unacceptable. You do not put hands on my teammate. That is not how things work here. So he starts going on to his entire thing about how he's going to kill me. I'm like, all right, if you want to kill me, Grapple Fest is willing to set up a match. Let's do it. Then he just starts saying all sorts of racial derogatory terms towards me, saying, oh, why would I compete against you? Mo Jassim jumps in and he's like, okay, I'll put up 10K as a bet match against him. I'm like, okay, cool. Patsarigov, Mo Jassim wants to put up 10K in a bet match. Do you accept? His 10,000 versus your 10,000. Then he goes back into his whole circle of how I should come to Norway and fight him there. And I'm like, the only reason this guy wants me to come to Norway is so that he could get all his friends to try and jump me. Cowards never fight.
He has clearly stated that that was a goal of his in the messages that he sent you.
Exactly. So it just makes no sense. Like, cowards will never fight fair. So I'm like, why don't you want to do Grapple Fest? And then he just keeps going in circles and circles. So I'm like, all right, let me see what it could take to entice this dude for a match. So I'm like, all right, look, Mo Jassim's going to put up 10K to your 10K. That's a 1-to-1 bet. I'll put up 10,000 of my own money. 10,000 from Mo, 10,000 from me, 10,000 from you. Winner takes all, 2-to-1 odds. Still doesn't accept. Mike Cipriani from Gamblers comes in. He's like, okay, I'll put up $50,000 to it. And at this point, at this point, I'm just like, no, you know what? I don't even want a bet match no more. I'll give you 70 grand to beat me. You don't have to put up anything. I'll give you 70 grand to beat me. And Grapple Fest offered to give him 3K in show money. And pay his flight and hotel, obviously. Still doesn't accept. And then I'm just like, all right, look, what's it going to take? And then he keeps saying this stuff, oh, come to Norway, come to Norway. I'm like, I'm not coming to Norway. Let's just compete. Let's find something. Let's like fix this. Like, let's talk like professionals. Then he just keeps freaking out. And then I keep getting text messages from his goons in Chechnya or Norway or wherever they're texting me from about how Muslim's going to kill me. I'm like, all right, well, if he wants to kill me, accept the match, you know? But of course he never accepted. Eventually he got his feelings so hurt that he blocked me on Instagram.
So let's wrap this up into a nice little package for everybody to understand. Apparently Muslim here, aka Messi, has a long track record of having issues within the combat sports arena. He has issues with a lot of people in the jiu-jitsu community, and it seems he has a track record of being a big child. When he wasn't able to go to ADCC, he threw a fit saying that he would never go again. So, that's not how you get what you want, big guy. That's not how the world works. You clearly had the opportunity to get to ADCC if you won your match. You didn't win that match. You don't get to go. It's pretty simple. Throwing racial slurs around and trying to threaten to kill people is not how you get what you want. He even loosely threatened me when I was interviewing him, telling me to go to where he was at. Every time he said that to other people, he's always followed that up with a death threat. So I took that as a death threat. And my response was, well, if you're going to threaten me, go for the gusto, big guy. Don't half-ass a death threat. Give it to me straight. And then it seemed like he backed off of that. When I gave him a clear opportunity to get it on the table, he chose to back down. Meh. At the end of the day, me personally, I really hope that pretty much absolutely every jiu-jitsu competition, organization, promotion, period, bans this crazy psycho. I even asked him when I was interviewing him if he thought this was a good example he was setting for his students. And he said yes! Apparently this guy thinks that throwing around racial slurs and threatening to kill people and also threatening to have his goons attack you is a great example we can set. So as I'm finishing editing this particular video, GrappleFest sends me this. It's a letter stating that they will handle that $70,000 match for him. So if he wants to face Big Dan, all he has to do is accept. It's very clearly written that they will handle the money and he will get paid. Let's see if he follows through. Now this is going to be a rare one because usually when I give out Dillmans, the Dillmans are usually dedicated to people who are just utter psychotics who believe they can move things with their mind. But this guy seems to actually know legitimate jiu-jitsu and is a high-level competitor. And with that said, can't give him a Dillman. So we have to use another psycho nut job who has issues with tournaments himself, Frank Dukes. So for this round, I'm giving this man 5 out of 5 Frank Dukes. I thought the craziest person who would revolve around competitions would be Frank Dukes, but apparently Frank Dukes might have to take a second place. Frank Dukes just simply lied about what he did and wants to sue everybody who calls him on his bullshit. This guy wants to actually kill you if you call him on his bullshit. He threatened me too. My final thought on this whole thing, and by the way, I can't wait to hear what you guys have to say about this in the comment section, is, hey Messi, suck my balls. So that brings us to the question of the day. What is the worst thing you've seen happen from a competitor in a competition? Did someone throw a fit? Did someone toss a table? Did someone hit someone with a chair? Was there a riot? What was it? I want to know. As always, thank you all for the likes, comments, shares, subscriptions, and all that other crap people online tell you to do. Keep the martial arts legit.
My baby got robbed the other day by degenerates. So she wanted to learn some new form of this self-defense. So she did her research and perused it online and found this dude said he could move shit with his mind. He called himself Seafood Paul Zimmerman. He got a dojo with a strip mall near Cinnabon. Now she spends all day trying to break boards with her thoughts, but the only thing she's breaking is my little heart.